Today is October 21st, which makes it exactly 7 months since I've been in Japan. And I can't believe how quickly time is going. It's just, wow, more than half a year already. For the most part, everything has been great these past 7 months. Like I mentioned in my last video, September was bad. There was actually a point in September where I wanted to go home after 1 year. The plan is 2 years, and I was like, no, I want to go home. I want to go home December. I want to go home now. But I'm glad I changed my mind, and things are slowly but surely getting better. So, yay! Still on track for 2 years. But things are really great right now. I love Japan. I really love it here. I can't imagine leaving. I mean, when I thought about going home, I was like, go home for what? We have there. We are gonna sit down and down and nothing. Cause really, what could I do at home right now? So it's better I stay and hang out in Japan than go home right now. So it's a good decision, and I'm happy because we just got letters asking if surveys if we want to recontract with my company. I was like, yeah, hello. Definitely sign me up. So it's going to be at the moment for sure another year here in Japan, and I'm very excited about that. I just can't get over the fact that it's been 7 months already. But anyways, so about 2 weeks ago, on October the 3rd, I went to a disaster preparedness training seminar for foreigners in Wakayama. It was put on by Wixus, which is the English language center here in Wakayama, and they sent a flyer to my school, and my school said, hey, you want to go? And I was like, might as well. So I signed up for that, and I went, and I must say it was a great experience. It was sponsored by Wixus and NHK. NHK is the local TV channel here, so it was just well done. The information that we got was perfect, and I'm just going to tell you a few things in case you're wondering. Well, the reason why I went was everyone's so concerned about me living in Japan, which, of course, because of the tsunami in 2011, everyone thinks there's going to be more tsunamis. There hasn't been one yet, thank God. But Japan is kind of volatile where it is. There are earthquakes regularly. I'm lucky we're in Wakayama. They're not as frequent as, say, further north. And when we do have earthquakes, it's quick little shakes. We had 2 yesterday, actually, but they were very quick, strong shakes, and then that was it. So they remind me of the ones back home, so I'm not too worried about that. The only concern is if there is a big earthquake near off the coast of Wakayama, my city is actually in a danger zone. It would be severely affected by a tsunami. So it was important for me to go to this training seminar and know what I can do to protect myself. And it was good. It was really good. About 5 days before the seminar, there was an alarm went off. This was at I think 11:30 in the night. An alarm went off in the city, and I didn't know what they were saying or what it was about. And I went online and I checked that you can go online and check the Japan Meteorological Services. They have warnings and let you know what's going on for each prefecture. And it was actually a storm. There was a strong windstorm, and they sent out a warning for my city to brace yourself for that and just prepare. So that was a good reminder as to why it was important for me to sign up for this training seminar, because I don't know the warnings. I don't understand Japanese. I can't read Japanese. So to hear an alarm like that go off in the middle of the night and you don't know what's going on, it's really important to know. And also a month before that, I don't know if you remember the news, Chile was having earthquakes. As a result, there was a higher than usual waves coming ashore in Australia. And so they put the entire Pacific Ocean area on the tsunami watch because of tsunamis in Chile off the coast of South America. And We got that warning at, I think, 3 a.m. or 1 a.m. The phones went off, automatic alarms. And I didn't know what it was going on. And I had to Google and find out. And then when I realized it wasn't a major threat, I went back to sleep. But it just goes to show you have to be able to understand the warnings, why they're being sent, how to check, how to confirm if you should run or just go back to sleep, which is what I did. So at the training, the first thing we learned about was the rainy season. 3 months ago, a terrible tragedy in Joso Town in northern Japan. We had heavy rainfalls during the second rainy season, and the banks of the river broke, and that completely inundated the town, and people had to have emergency rescues. Persons die and loss of property. So it's important to know when the rainy season is, what to do if there's a emergency, notifications to evacuate and find shelter higher ground. So that was important for me because I had an idea of when the rainy season is because we had it recently. So I now know when it is, how it's affected, and what kinds of rains to expect. We also learned the warning system. So before, I mentioned that the other night there was a alarm in my city, and I didn't understand the notifications. I got the notifications, but I don't know how to pronounce them properly. I really don't want to ruin if I hear them, I'll know what it is. But you have 3 levels. You have advisory, which means, hey, this might happen, listen out. You have warning, hey, okay, this is looking bad, so you might want to pack a little bag or something, and just just be careful. And then you have emergency order, which is get the hell out of where you are now and seek shelter somewhere safe. So I now I know advisory is Chua. I could be wrong. I warning is Keikoku. I'm not even gonna try. But if I hear them, I will know the warnings now, which is good. Also, we learned about the rainy season and tornadoes. Sometimes tornadoes happen in Japan. That was good to know. And I learned where flood-prone areas are in my city. And yeah, that was it for that section of the training. After that, we went and we did a section where we learned signs. So this means evacuate. This means tsunami area. So if you see this somewhere, like say on the beach or somewhere close to the coast, if you get a warning, to an emergency warning or emergency order, get away from this area, because that means that's an area that will wash you away. This also means that it's a tsunami area. Let me come in closer. Yeah, so we got a little quiz and I got one wrong, but I didn't do too badly. This is run to emergency shelter, right? Or actually it means the building is an emergency shelter for higher ground. And this last one means is also saying that the building is a tsunami shelter, or the place you go if there's a tsunami occurring, because it's tall enough to protect you in theory. So that was good because I had no idea. And now that I know this, I'm going around and I'm seeing the different signs all over the place. I'm like, oh wow, look at that. Yeah, okay, I understand that now. And also my city, there are other signs. I'll put a picture in right in here. Right, so that sign shows where you would be, if a tsunami were to occur, what height it would be at the distance you are from the sea. So luckily where I live is out of the danger zone. I'm grateful for that. In fact, I have a emergency shelter 5 minutes away from me. It's actually my school, but so that's great. I know where exactly to go. Also did CPR training, because in case of an emergency, persons might be helped and need assistance, and you know how to help them. I did a first, what is it called? Red Cross first aid certification about 5 years ago, so I knew CPR before, but this was a good refresher course. So now I know it down. So if I see someone on the ground, I know exactly what to do, and I can assist in a situation where someone would need emergency care. So that was great. And we learned about earthquake strengths. We even went into an earthquake simulator. We even went into an earthquake simulator. So now I know the difference between a tremor and a real earthquake. In Japan, they use a different scale from the Richter scale in the West, and this scale goes up to 7. 1 to 4 is little damage. So like I said in Wakayama, these quick earthquakes that just shakes you a little, and you can hear. But after 4, you have -6, -5, +5, -6, +6, and 7. And 7 is the strongest. 7 is when everything is being thrown about. You're moving. So we know from before in Jamaica, I knew what to do in case of earthquakes, because we do drills all the time there. So I know you go to a door jam, you stay away from windows. So that, again, refresher course, so you know. So in case of emergency, you can snap into the mode that you have to go into to not die. So yeah, and it was sponsored by NHK, and NHK told us about the various apps they have. Another thing, NHK is so amazing. I don't watch TV here, but in the event of an emergency, I know exactly what to do now. My remote, it's a bit dirty. I don't want to show it because I don't use it. There's a button, and once you press the button, it actually takes you to the emergency page. If the page is blue, it will have, if there's a warning, advisory, or emergency order, it will have what city is being affected. It will even tell you how many houses will be affected and how many people will be affected by it. So I think that's really cool from NHK, and everything was being filmed too. It was actually shown on TV as a part of a news program. So I think I'll put in a few clips of that, because I did film it because I'm on TV. I didn't say anything or do any interview, but it was really cool. It was a great program. I'm really happy that I attended, and now I feel a little more prepared. And I just wish everyone would stop worrying every single time there's an earthquake in Japan. I mean, if there's an earthquake in Tokyo, it's not affecting me. I live in Wakayama for the last time. But it was a really good training session. And the very next day after, we had in my city, we had an earthquake that was registered at strength 4. Well, almost 4. So it was the strongest one I felt since here. So I was like, oh, okay. So that's just seeing if I know what to do. So that was kind of scary. I was like, Mommy, there's an earthquake. But it was okay. So now I know what to do. I'm prepared, more prepared than I was before. So if you have the opportunity to go to one of these training sessions, please, 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 please don't miss out on the opportunity. Go, because it's important. And a lot of the times, even when we had the tsunami warning about 2 months ago, I remember one of my friends was just freaking out because they live near the sea and they don't know what to do. And if you go to these kind of sessions, you feel more relaxed because you know exactly what's going to happen. You know exactly what you should do. So go to the training seminars if you have them. And although it was all in Japanese, I had a translator. I tell you, it was so organized. Everything in Japan is organized. Everything perfectly. And the other bonus was I got free stuff. Yeah, I love freeness. So they gave stuff like mouse pad, and I got a calendar from NHK. Thanks, NHK. And a folder. I got this adorable mascot. Isn't he cute? And a little flashlight. So this is good because I don't have a flashlight. I need to get a flashlight. So good stuff to have. It was well organized. So thanks, Wixas in Wakayama, and thank you so much, NHK. I forgot to mention that I also received a map. This is a map of Kainan, the city I live in, and it's an emergency map. So the red areas where would be most affected by I guess like this shows you 1 meter where 1 meter would affect. And so yeah, this is the city of Kainan. This is the railway. So here's the GR station. Luckily, I live outside of this area. I'm so lucky. But they also have the emergency area buildings where you can climb to.
この催しは NHK 和歌山放送局や県国際交流協会、それに和歌山市が開きました。昨日は中国やタイ、オーストラリアなどから和歌山に来ているおよそ40人が集まり、避難指示などの用語について学んだり、災害が発生したときに放送などを通じて情報を入手する方法を確かめたりしました。また、救急救命の方法や避難所での生活について学んだほか、地震を再現できる車で震度7の揺れを体験し、災害に備えることの重要性を再確認していました。